Hello, welcome to the lecturer's desk. Get your medical thoughts cleared before you leave. And please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell.
Hello guys, welcome back to the lecturer's desk once again. Today we are going to talk of atrial enlargement. When we talk of atrial enlargement, what is it? It's a condition in which there's an increase in the size of the atria, or condition in which there's a dilation of the atria. And this atrial enlargement can be caused by various factors, and some of these factors are high blood pressure or hypertension, and two, heart valve diseases and heart congenital diseases. And this atrial enlargement, if not corrected, can lead to certain arrhythmias such as atrial fibrillation, and this atrial enlargement can be treated by correcting the underlying cause of it. And if it is hypertension, we treat a hypertension. If it is congenital heart disease, we treat that one, and then we solve this abnormality of the heart. Now, let's look at something over here. Today we are going to talk about how we can identify an atrial enlargement on the EKG graph. Now, if you take the EKG graph, we all know it has various waves. That is the P waves, the QRS complex, the S wave, and the rest. Now, we know the electrical activity that happens in the atria is being represented by the P wave. So today we are making emphasis on the P wave, and an abnormality of the P wave that can lead us in identifying the atrial enlargement is what we are going to talk about today. So stay with me and let's talk about this. Now, if we take the P wave, we all know that the P wave, a normal P wave, has a height of 2.5 millivolts. That means it has two and a half small boxes, and then the width supposed to be 0.1 seconds. Are we clear with it? 0.1 seconds. So an increase in the height of the P wave, or an increase in the width of the P wave, represents an enlargement of the atria. Now, when we take the atria, we have left and the right. How are you going to know that this enlargement is a right atrial enlargement, or this is a left atrial enlargement? When you take the P wave, this part represents the right and this part represents the left. So actually, the right atrial enlargement can be identified using the height of the P wave. So if you take a P wave and then the P wave has increased in height more than 2.5 boxes, we say there is a right atrial enlargement. And then when you take the P wave and then there's an increase in the width of it, which is more than 2.1 small boxes, 2.5 small boxes, or 0.1 seconds, we talk of an atrial enlargement at the left atrium. Are you clear with it? Now we know how we can identify the right atrial enlargement and then the left atrial enlargement. Now let's look at other factors that can lead us to identifying that one. Now look at something over here. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. This is a normal P wave. It's a normal P wave. And then this is also a normal P wave. Now, the atrial enlargement, it is best located on the second lead. That is D2. On the D2. And then on the precordial list, we have the V1. We can identify it over there too. Now, the P wave on the second lead, which is the lead 2, is not the same as the precordial lead, which is the V1. The V1 can be what? A negative lead, or can be what? A biphasic. And now this we have what? A biphasic. Now, when it's a biphasic, how are you going to identify it? And when it is what? A positive wave on the lead 2, how are you going to identify it also? Now let's look at something here. This is a normal P wave. This height is equal to 2.5 millivolts, and then the width is equal to 0.1 seconds. Or the height is equal to 2.5 boxes, and then the width is also equal to 2.5 boxes. So we say it is what? Normal. Now, when it is a biphasic, how are we going to identify it? When it's a biphasic, the positive part must also be only one small box. And then when it is a biphasic, the negative part must also be what? Not more than one small box. Now, let's look at something over here. This is it. When there's a biphasic, we have positive and negative reading of the P wave. Now, when the positive become more than one small box, we say we have a right atrial enlargement. And then when the weight of the negative becomes more than one small box, we say we have left atrial enlargement. Now, when there is a biphasic, the positive represents the right, and then the negative represents the left. And when it's positive only on the what? Lead 2. No, lead 2 read only positive. And positive only on the lead 2, the height represents the right, and then the width represents the left. So we can identify what? The P wave over there. Now, this is what we call what? The atrial enlargement. I'm repeating it. The atrial enlargement can happen when there's what? A change in the what? The structure of the P wave. That when the P wave increases in height, or when the P wave increases in width. When the P wave increases in height, now let's look at something. When the P wave increases in height, which is more than 2.5 millivolts, or more than 2.5 boxes, we say we have a right atrial enlargement on the second lead. And then on the lead 1, on the V1, which is the precordial lead 1, we have the positive lead, or the positive reading, more than one small box. And then the negative reading, more than also one small box. So the positive reading represents the right atrial enlargement, and then the negative reading represents the left atrial enlargement. Are you clear with it? So basically, if you take it, this is the lead 2. On the lead 2, we have this part, as I drew over here, this part representing the right, this part representing the left. So a condition in which there's what? An increase in the height, we say we have right atrial enlargement. Or a condition in which there's what? An increase in the width increases, we say we have left atrial enlargement. And also on the V1, when the positive is more than one small box, we have an right atrial enlargement. And then the negative is more than one small box, whether in height or in the width, we say we have the left atrial enlargement. Now, let's look at something here. In certain conditions too, we can get both the right atrial, and then the left atrial enlargement. That is the right atrial enlargement and the left atrial enlargement. Now, this can happen when there's what? A higher increase in the height and then a higher increase in the weight. When these two are above the normal, we say both the right and then the left atrium have undergone what? An enlargement. Are we clear with it? Now, let's look at something here. We can also, on the left atrial enlargement, we can identify it also using a certain criteria. Now, let's look at something here. This wave, we call it a bimodal. It's like M, a bimodal. So if you take a bimodal wave, or that is the P wave, when the P wave is a bimodal, the apex, or the maximum height of the first wave and then the maximum height of the second part, you see we have a curve over there. So the maximum height here and then the maximum height here, when you compare the two, the difference in there is supposed to be what? Less than 1 box. So if that one too is more than 1 box, we say we have what? A left atrial enlargement. Are you clear with it? So on the left atrial enlargement, you can also identify using what? The bimodal formula. That is when the difference between the first wave and then the second wave is more than 1 small box. We say there's what? A left atrial enlargement. So this is basically what an atrial enlargement means and how we can identify it using our EKG graph. So this brings us to the end of today's lesson. If you find the class very useful, please motivate us by subscribing to the channel and then liking the channel and also sharing it to a friend, so that we all can benefit from these medical teachings. Thank you for staying with us till this time. See you in our next video.